Welcome back to the show, everybody. Dragon Ball game, Project Z. Been hearing about this game for weeks now, looking at the scans and things like that. And I've been waiting for this moment because there's an Uncle Triple history lesson here that I just need to tell. But it may be one or two people at this juncture, given this news, are like looking around like Dragon Ball and RPGs, right? And I'm like, but given like what Dragon Ball has been in video games recently is that either you have fighting games or things that are considered fighting game adjacent or things that steal your money on a telephone. But the truth is, children, Dragon Ball and RPGs have a really big love thing. Like, and have been for real. Whether we're talking about the Goku series, which most people will be familiar with. It's like, I remember when I first played the first Goku, not even knowing what I was playing, like back in the day, like in 2000, 2001 at school, like when everybody knew about emulation and stuff. And I remember playing a very, very, very horrible translated version of that video game. It was not good times. But it was like, because it was at that point, Dragon Ball in the hood was a fever pitch. So anything you can get your hands on, like, yo, that's the boy Goku and stuff. So it's like, having familiarity with that. You know what I'm saying? You have the Legacy of Goku series, which was more of an action RPG and things like that. You have Legendary Super Warriors, which was a different kind of RPG. And then you get down in different holes like that. But again, I'm just trying to make the point that Dragon Ball and RPGs aren't as non-familiar as you might consider or think. So it'll be interesting to see like what this is, and that's kind of my only question before we get into watching the trailer is that how many times have we seen this story told? I'm the dude that grew up watching 5 episodes of Powering Up and talking shit before a punch was thrown. LOL. So you know what I'm saying. For me, it's that you got a lot of people who had the opportunity to really dig into the series through Dragon Ball Z Kai. You have people who've ultimately went back and read the manga, and you have all those differences. However, you got down. But the thing is that as someone who has interacted for real with Dragon Ball and fighting games since the first Budokai, I know this story inside and out. And I'm like, one of the things I would really like to do is to play the Budokai 1 and Budokai 2 on GameCube. I've always wanted to do that and never got around to it. And should, and we will, just because of the differences they're in. But my thing is that I know this story inside and out. And I know I'm not the only person that does. So it's like, whatever Project Z is going to be, is that it has to come at this at such a different way that you got to breathe some life into this story I already know. The only real time I really feel that in video games that retelling Dragon Ball was done very well was Burst Limit. And I think that was because of your interaction with drama pieces. And as much as I love and I hate them all at the same time, is that it put new life into the story that I already knew by having me interact with it in a way that I never have before. It's like Budokai 3 got pretty close, especially where you had to do certain things in order to complete them, and I really think that what that included in Budokai 3 was very expanded on Burst Limit, and that's what makes it a good single player game. So it's like, again, my question is that I have seen this story in so many ways. I've seen it through violence, through RPGs, through card battles, through action RPGs. I've seen this story play out so many times in so many different ways in multiple mediums. Is what can this game do to get me, jaded Dragon Ball fan who needs to watch Dragon Ball Super because big giant anime eye guy will punch the shit out of you because Jiren is amazing. I'm a Jiren stan now. I watch one trailer 30 seconds. I'm a Jiren stan now, so it's time to catch up on Dragon Ball Super for reals. But the thing is that what can this do that other Dragon Ball games haven't done to retell this story in a way that makes sense? It's like, I don't know. It's like, do you really? Well, actually, you know what? Let's say this. Let me get my beard together, you know what I'm saying? Like, given what we learned earlier about Canon Broly, right? Can you really like dive into the movies now at this point, because with you introducing a different Broly, and again, I haven't watched the movie and I don't know how it works in relation to if Broly's actually canon to the legendary Super Saiyan we all know and love, Vic McDurpadirt Law, is can you really like invest in that? Because I I'm like, I would love to have some fun, like in the Tree of Might or Dead Zone or something like that, because I remember that stuff from back in the day. Like, those are my earliest Dragon Ball memories are linked to those movies. So to be able to do something cool with Laura Slug or something would be pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to wonder. It's like, is that where we're going with this? Like, I'm like, I guess that's really my question. Is like, what is Project Z going to do that other Dragon Ball games haven't, that make this story worth revisiting for the billionth time? Because again, let's just say this, because I think it bears repeating. Given that, I talked about Xenoverse and how Xenoverse is probably going to be your conduit for everything Dragon Ball, at least in that little form field, forever ever, is given what Xenoverse is about. It's about rewriting history, about changing what it was that happened to see it from a different way. And that's one way that you can approach it. But how does this RPG change what it is that I know and love about this thing that I know and love? And I think that's really the question that I have. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna quit talking. I'm gonna quit talking. I've done enough talking. Most of that should have been saved for like the end, but I don't care. What congregation y'all with me? I ain't bored y'all to death. Have I? Oh, y'all good? Okay, cool. Deuce. Alright, so let's do what we do. Because you know what I'm saying, it is what it is right now. I'm gonna handle things a little bit differently. Super duper magic box, darling, where's you at, baby? Right there. Booyah. See, you don't have to scream it out all the time. You know what I'm saying? And plus, it's a little early in the morning, and I do not want to make the missus. So, let the queen sleep. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess we could politely ask Super Duper motherfucking Magic Box to make an appearance. Love, for real. We finna see what's up. We finna see what's up with this. I'm like, I'm interested, because again, I'm like, those are my real feelings of what can this do that hasn't been done. You know what I'm saying? Also, note to self, actually play Sagas, because you've never done that before, because you heard the game was shit. But maybe you should actually play it, judge it on its own merits, and then you determine whether or not it's actually a shit game or not. Okay, cool. So we got that together, note to self. So, let's do what it is that we do. So, let's activate trailer.exe. Let's see what's up with this, and let's do what it does. So, now activating Dragon Ball Project Z.exe. Xenoverse 2. Dragon Ball Fighters. Dragon Ball game project
warriors are in a never-ending search for the ultimate fight. This is the story of the mysterious Dragonlance. A story about determination, despair,
Okay.
and hope.
Squeak!
This is the story of Goku, the the one they call Kakarot.
Alright. I think that's that. So now, I got some questions. Okay. We shift a little bit. So, I only have one problem. Just one. Well, and it's not even a problem as much as it is a worry. Remember before we watched the trailer, I talked about a little game called Birth Limit? One of my favorite Dragon Ball games of all time. Is I always appreciated the promise that Birth Limit had, that if they would have gotten into the Buu Saga or whatever, that what they could have done with that. But at the same time, to be legitimately honest, when you really think about media for real, like a lot of Dragon Ball media really ignores things after the defeat of Cell. To be honest, it's like a lot of games do it. A lot of games, it's a stopping point of, well, no one really gives a fuck about this shit anymore, so who cares? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm wondering, is that, are they sitting up here banking on, like, we just gonna make a piece of this and we'll let you fight Frieza, that'll be your whole video game, and then we'll come out with a sequel, we'll let you fight Cell, we'll let you come out with a sequel, and then you can fight Boo, and then you can do some super shit and maybe some GT shit or something. No. I'm like, that's my only problem. My thing is that it got Dragon Ball written on the damn package. So unless you're talking about your game as a Connect video game, the game gonna sell some numbers. So that's not the thing to worry about. But given and also, and I thought of this about the legitimate scope of what this could be, is that maybe all you really can do in the scope thereof is take everything from the end of the original Dragon Ball and go all the way to the end of Frieza. You know what I'm saying? And maybe get some Yardak shit in there. You know what I'm saying? Instant transmission picture. Whoop. So, you know, I don't know. Muffin button. Team 4-star. But look, I just wonder, like, is this game really gonna go up to Frieza? Or are we really gonna get it? Or all they wanted to tease was, this is what we're doing immediately right now, and what we'll do is what we'll do. Because again, we talked about this earlier too, and I think I talked about this when we talked about Bay Vidal, angry One Punch Anime Eyes guy, Cannon dude, and Fusion Man. So we did all that. But the thing I think I talked about, and I think I talked about it here too, is this understanding of what things should be. And it's like, and that's kind of my question. It's like, what should this be really? You know what I'm saying? That given that what Xenoverse 2 is doing, like I say, like that game is going to last at least until a new system come out. And then you're going to port all your old stuff to the new joint. Dragon Ball Fighter seems to be the same exact way, where it will be infinitely expanded and continue to be balanced for everything that they add. And so at some point, yes, you will get Toppo and you will get Riviera. And you'll get that, because that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll get that. You know what I'm saying? Kefla is going to be one of those characters. The other one, I don't know. You do whatever it is you're going to do with that. I got to agree with the streets. You know what I'm saying? From what I've heard about the Tournament of Power, I heard OG Panty guy, he was wrecking shit. That's what I heard. I can't confirm it or not that. But given that Roshi don't get a lot of love in Dragon Ball fighting game, for real. He don't. Like, literally don't and should. But if you really want to play a fighting game with Master Roshi in it, I don't know, play Neo Geo Battle Coliseum or the King of Fighters 14. Lol. But yeah, shout out to that guy. Who is that guy? No, that's a different old guy. That's a different old guy. That's an old guy who should have been his tag partner in that game that I love, that kind of falls short on the tag thing. Oh boy, what is his name? I can't even think of it. Like, I am sitting here and can't think of the name of the character of the guy that trained multiple characters in multiple versions of that universe, which it is, and I cannot for the life of me, think of his name. And that's a shame because he was a good guy until he technically got murdered on accident purpose. And for years, I confused the canon of thinking that he was related to another character, but they knew each other. That character is Tone Furu. I think I drew that joke out a little too far, but we do what we can to entertain, bitch. We do what we can. Don't look at me like that. But look, I like what I see. And given what other games like it have been, like, I looked at that game and you want to know what that reminded me of for real? Rise of a Ninja died. I'm like, yo, that game is underrated. It's a shame that you can't interact with it. The DLC was fucked up and a whole bunch of other crazy things. But man, I would kill. No, I'm sorry. Let me take that back because we're not supposed to speak like that. I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate another opportunity to play another Naruto game like that. Because Naruto games haven't been done that way since then, and because we're gonna talk about it, they become a little formulaic. You know what I'm saying? Even with Shinobi Strikers or whatever, which I haven't played, and they keep adding DLC to it. It's just like, and all I want for real is Boruto, Gekito Ninja Taisen. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, hook me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, hook your boy up. You know what I'm saying? Like, the things I would do for a Boruto, Gekito Ninja Taisen, even though I haven't watched a single episode of Next Generations at all. Should, just haven't done it. But yo, it is what it is, y'all. Like, I think this is going on a bit too long, but point standing though is that this got some real promise, and it'll be interesting to really see what this becomes, because again, it will. I hope that this answers the question that I had that I had to begin of this, of how can you make this thing that made me enjoy a genre of entertainment so much give back to me into a way that you make it fresh and new for me. I know what happens. I can tell you Dragon Ball's whole story right now because I have interacted with it so much that you just know. Cyberman. This. No, I'm just fucking with y'all. But can this video game deliver on really giving a story like that with such importance a way to truly be and to stand out from everything that we've ever done here? To give the game a chance to do what it does. So just sit back, relax, wait and see. Oh, and sitting all about that. You do this, that's sit back, that's relax, you stay tuned. I'm the one in the young. You know I am. You know yeah, and you know what we do. We'll do more of that after these commercial messages that I promise you, some other things that we need to get into. So figure why not like the present. So you don't have to do. Sit back, relax, and chill. We got more show for you after these commercial messages. Wait a minute, hold up. I just said that. Okay, back myself into a segue corner to get out of this. So how do we get out of this? Wait for it. Okay, I got you. So, alright. Take a drink of water first. Good water. I'm in my eye. Alright. Let's try that one more time. I'd like to thank you once again for joining me for another installment of Triple the Guy Speak. So I'm, of course, the one and the only, the Triple the G.O.D. You're live right here on Team GRF TV. We ask that you politely sit back, relax, and stay tuned. We got more for you, and we have it for you right after these commercial messages. I'm really seriously going to play Sagas. For real. I know I just wrote that on my head and put it in my brain, but I'm serious. We're seriously going to do that. I have never played it before. I think I might have played a demo of it and was like, man, fuck this. But maybe it might be time to actually give that game a legitimate and honest chance to really see what it is that it does. So, just keep that in mind. Keep me honest. Remind me to do that. And we'll probably play some more Dragon Ball games or something. Do all that. Have some fun times. Mainly it'll probably be something ending in Buddhism. So, or, yeah, something ending in Buddhism, or something ending in the word hyperdimension. Go do that. Look, we got more show for you. We got it for you right after these bang commercial messages.